My wife looked me dead in the eyes and said, I want the house, the cars, the company, and full custody. Then she leaned back like she'd already won. My lawyer whispered, fight her. Please. I didn't even blink. I said, give it all to her. The room went silent. Her smile got bigger, because she thought I was surrendering. But I wasn't surrendering. I was handing her the rope, and letting her tie the knot herself. My name is Evan Mercer. I'm 41. And this is the story of how I lost everything, on purpose. The final divorce hearing, my wife signed the last page and smiled like a queen on a throne, until her own attorney leaned in and whispered 5 words. 5 words that made her face drop so hard, it looked like gravity punched her. Then she screamed my name in a courtroom full of strangers. And I just sat there, calm as Sunday morning. Because I'd already won. Lena and I were the kind of couple people pointed at and said, that's real love. We built a life in Plano, Texas, 2 kids, a nice neighborhood, family barbecues, school pickups, the whole American postcard. I owned a small logistics company, Mercer Freight Solutions, nothing glamorous, but steady. I wasn't rich, but I was reliable. And I thought reliable was enough. Then Lena got restless. Not all at once. Slowly. Like a smile that turns into a smirk. She started saying things like, why are we still living like this? Why do we drive these cars? Why don't we travel like other couples? And I'd say the same thing every time, we're building. We're being smart. She'd roll her eyes like I was speaking a language she outgrew. That's when Caleb Rains entered our lives. Caleb was a business consultant. That's what his card said. That's what his suit said. That's what his teeth said. He talked like confidence was a product he sold by the gallon. Lena loved him immediately. She laughed at his jokes. She asked his opinion. She started quoting him at dinner like he was scripture. Caleb says wealthy people don't think like you. Caleb says you can scale if you stop being scared. Caleb says I deserve more. At first, I blamed myself. Then I blamed stress. Then I blamed life. The truth? I blamed everything, except the one thing I should have blamed. Her. It was a Tuesday. A shipment got cancelled, so I came home early to surprise her. I even grabbed her favorite coffee on the way, hazelnut latte, extra foam. I walked in and heard laughter upstairs. Not my kids' laughter. Adult laughter. Low. Comfortable. Familiar. My stomach turned cold before my brain caught up. I opened the bedroom door. And there they were. Lena. Caleb. In my bed. In the house my name paid for. She screamed like I was the intruder. Caleb didn't even look ashamed. He looked annoyed. Like I interrupted a meeting. Lena pulled the sheet up like that was going to cover betrayal. Evan, wait, this isn't. I held up the coffee. My hand was shaking. It looks like what it is, I said quietly. Caleb buttoned his shirt with that calm, practiced arrogance. She was lonely, he said. You work a lot. These things happen. I stared at him. These things happen. I repeated. In my house. He sighed like he was tired of explaining basic math. Don't be dramatic. This is adult life. Something inside me didn't explode. It froze. That's the dangerous part people don't talk about. Anger makes you loud. Pain makes you messy. But when a man goes cold, he gets careful. I didn't hit him. I didn't yell. I just said, get out. Caleb smirked. Sure. He walked past me like a man leaving a restaurant. Lena started crying. But it felt like performance. Like she was rehearsed. I didn't mean for it to happen, she whispered. I looked at her and said the truest sentence I've ever spoken, you didn't mean for me to find out. A week later, Lena filed. And she didn't just want to leave. She wanted to take. Her lawyer sent a list that made my jaw tighten. The house, both vehicles, the business, full custody, spousal support, reimbursement for emotional labor. My attorney, Drew McAllister, called me immediately. "Evan, this is insane," he said. "We can fight this. We should fight this." I told him, not yet. Because that night, I couldn't sleep. So I did the one thing I always do when life gets messy. I went to the numbers. At 2:11 a.m., in my office, I opened the last 2 years of transactions. I wasn't looking for a smoking gun. I was looking for peace of mind. Instead, I found a graveyard. Invoices that didn't match deliveries. Payments to vendors I didn't recognize. Wire transfers labeled equipment when no equipment was ever purchased. I zoomed in on one vendor name. Rains Consulting Group. My chest tightened. Caleb. I pulled more statements. Then more. Then I saw it, my wife's signature on approval forms. Over and over. Not once. Not twice. A pattern. A system. A scheme. By sunrise, I had enough evidence to make me sick. They weren't just cheating on me. They were robbing me. And they were using my business as the pipeline. And here's the wildest part, they thought I was too busy to notice. I didn't confront her. I didn't threaten her. Because people like Lena don't panic when you accuse them. They panic when you corner them quietly. So I called my older sister, Marisol, the one person in my life who never sugarcoats anything. I slid the folder across her kitchen table. She read 3 pages and covered her mouth. "Evan," she whispered. "This is federal." "I know. You're going to call the cops." "Not yet." She stared at me like I was crazy. "You're telling me your wife stole from you, cheated on you, and now wants to take your whole life, yes. And your plan is to, what? Pray." I leaned in and said, "I'm going to give her exactly what she wants." Marisol blinked. "No, yes." "Why?" I tapped the paperwork. "Because if she takes the business, she takes the liability." Marisol went still. Then she slowly smiled. "Oh my God." I nodded. "Exactly. Here's what most people don't understand, when someone is greedy, they don't see danger. They see opportunity." So I played the role. The broken husband. The defeated man. I went into mediation and agreed to everything. My lawyer looked like he was watching a train heading toward a cliff. "Evan, you're handing her your company," he hissed. I whispered back, "I'm handing her a bomb." He stared. "What did you do?" I said, "Trust me." The IRS and a forensic accountant had already been notified. Quietly. Legally. Proper channels. No drama. Because the best traps aren't loud. They're invisible. And they don't snap until the prey steps fully inside. The courtroom smelled like old carpet and burnt coffee. Lena walked in dressed like she was going to brunch after she finished destroying me. Perfect hair. Perfect makeup. She smiled at me. That smile said, "You're nothing without me." Drew sat beside me, pale. "Last chance," he mouthed. I shook my head. The judge read the agreement. The house transfers to Lena Mercer. The vehicles transfer to Lena Mercer. Mercer Freight Solutions, all assets and liabilities, transfer to Lena Mercer. Assets and liabilities. That last part is important. The judge asked, "Mr. Mercer, do you accept?" I stood and said, "Yes, Your Honor." Lena's smile widened like a sunrise. I signed everything. Every page. No hesitation. No trembling. And when I sat back down, the courtroom doors opened. 2 men in suits walked in. Not lawyers. Not family. Not security. Men with badges clipped at their belts and faces that didn't do small talk. They walked straight to Lena's attorney and handed him a folder. Her attorney opened it. His face changed so fast it looked like he aged 10 years. Lena leaned in, whispering sharply, "What is it?" Her attorney swallowed hard. Then he leaned toward her, and whispered 5 words. "They indicted you this morning." Lena froze. Her smile vanished. Her eyes went wide. "What?" she hissed, snatching the paper. She scanned it. I watched her read her own name on the top line. United States of America vs. Lena Mercer charges, wire fraud, conspiracy, tax fraud, and embezzlement. Her hands started shaking. Then she stood up so fast her chair slammed backward. "No, no, this is Caleb's. This is Caleb's fault." "I didn't," one of the men stepped forward calmly. "Ma'am, you need to remain seated." Lena turned and looked at me like she just realized who I really was. You knew," she whispered. I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I just said, quietly, "You wanted everything." Then I added the line that cracked her, "So I gave you everything." Her voice rose into a scream. "You set me up." I finally looked her dead in the eyes and said, "No, Lena. You set yourself up the moment you signed my name on money that wasn't yours." And then the agent said the sentence that ended her fantasy, "Ma'am, please place your hands behind your back." The cuffs clicked. It was the loudest sound in my whole life. Caleb was arrested 2 days later at a hotel outside Dallas. They found accounts in offshore banks. Fake vendor contracts. Emails. And Lena? She tried to blame him. But the signatures were hers. Her emails were there. Her approvals. Her fingerprints all over the crime. The house she fought for. Sold. The cars she demanded. Repoed. The lifestyle she chased. Gone. And my kids. That's what mattered. The custody changed fast. The court didn't care about her speeches once her name showed up next to federal charges. I didn't win because I got revenge. I won because I protected the only 2 people who didn't betray me. People ask me all the time, "Do you hate her?" And I always say the same thing, hate is heavy. And I've carried enough weight. But I'll tell you what I do believe now, some people don't learn through love. They learn through consequences. So let me ask you something, be honest, if someone betrayed you, stole from you, and tried to take your whole life in court, would you fight them head on? Or would you do what I did, and let them win their way into a trap? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every one.